Welcome back, mortals and immortals alike. It has been quite some time, but we are finally back to finish Fate. Now, to catch everyone up to speed, it has been quite some time. I'm sure you can see there that's many more hours than there was the last time that this game got booted up. It has been a year since we started this series because ooh boy, there's been a lot going on, but we are currently at dungeon level 40, and the final boss is on dungeon level 44. So we got 4 levels until the boss, and hopefully I am strong enough to kill this guy right off the bat. Now, we have been grinding on and off for the last year, and got a couple episodes out of this, and then life gets in the way. I'm chronically ill, and that just sometimes kicks your ass. So does mental health. Uh, but I'm back, and there's going to be a whole relaunch of the channel. It'll start with the end of this series and the start of my favorite video game of all time, which will probably go on for quite some time because it's Near Automata. And for anyone who doesn't know, that game has 3 storylines, all of which you have to play through to get the true ending of the game. And we will, in fact, be going through all 3 stories. I personally have only been through all 3 stories once, because frankly, my favorite is playing as 2B, which is your first storyline. That's just me, but we will be going through all of them and experiencing the whole game all 3 times together. Now, let's get back into the dungeon.
You step into the portal.
Alright. Get rid of these ugly guys. So,
Your pet has fled.
heal them back up. So, where exactly has Pastel been for the past year? First off, depression is no joke, and neither is chronic illness. Uh, Chronic illness knocked me out for quite some time, and so did a little bit of a depression spiral. Uh, and it's hard when those things are happening to you. Burnout
You have
is
completed the quest.
no joke, and it can lead to you getting even more sick. I took quite a bit of
You
time
cannot carry anymore.
to take care of myself and do what I could. Because we all do what we can, you know? Do some inventory swapping here before we have to go fight a
The spell could not be completed.
giant spider. Why has there got to be spiders? Ugh, they're creepy.
A trap has been sprung.
But in the last year, uh, my wonderful husband and I finally moved out of the crappy place we were living. So hopefully I'll, one, have plenty of time now to record episodes for all of you and for myself, of course. And I'll have more time to hang out with friends and take care of myself. Sometimes a change of scenery is really what the mind needs. But in the time that I was away, I was able to reassess and reevaluate, and I kind of know better now what I want from this channel. I
Your
know
path has departed.
I want the gaming and the crochet and art when I can, because those are all things I'm really passionate about. Uh, I'd like to talk a little bit at the end of games about their design and their makeup because it's something that's really interesting to me. Now, design in this game is not something I feel like I have the wherewithal to analyze as much, just because it's a dungeon crawler with a randomly generated final boss. You open the game and it gives you a final boss that has been generated. It's never the same boss. One of the first times I ever played, it gave me a final boss on level like 20. The deepest the final boss has ever been for me is like level 98.
You are overburdened.
Like it's a little different every time, but you just crawl through the dungeon, you kill a bunch of bad guys, you beat the final boss, which is an even bigger bad guy, and you move on with your life. Meanwhile, with things like Near
You feel refreshed.
and and Dishonored and some of my other favorite games, there's a lot going on in the design of them because as time has gone on, game developers have gone from just making something that you can boot up and play for hours and hours to really putting thoughts into stories
Your path
and
has returned.
the times we take playing games. At least most of the time. There's some shittier developers that are just like, let's work our workers to death and then turn out a poor product anyway. Uh, Not naming names, but they know who they are. They know. It's an interesting thing going from this dumb computer game that I played as a child with basically no story to the sprawling RPGs and the wonderful cinematic storytelling that the gaming community is so used to now, even in simple games like
Your pack is full.
most recently that I can think of is Ravenous Devils. It is just a cartoony sim horror game where you are a husband and wife duo that cook people into pies. The husband's a tailor, the wife is a cook, and it's Sweeney Todd, but make him a tailor instead of a barber. That is all that game is. But it does have a little bit of story and stuff you can read into and look to. And it's not a very long game, but I had fun with it, you know? It's stuff like that that makes me so much enjoy games still is storytelling and the things you can glean from your environment. And I would love to, if I can, look into those sort of things on this channel. One of the big inspirations towards leaning towards that was I found a smaller YouTuber. I cannot for the life of me remember where he is from, but it is TB Skyen. And the
You are poisoned.
dark the
Your pet has failed.
Bosses of Dark Souls series. I started watching that. Oh, it's got to be 2 3 months back, just after we moved, because Dark Souls bosses and those games in general have a lot of very interesting bosses and a lot of rich lore, but only if you go looking for it. Because genuinely, you can play those games and not once ever take 2 seconds to look at item descriptions, look at bosses. You just go here, do things, especially in the first one. Go here, do things, ring bells. Who cares? But if you take the time to look into them, it's some of the most fascinating
You are
world
overruled.
building that I've ever seen because there's so much behind each boss, and
The spell could not be completed.
the Dark Souls
The
team,
spell could not be completed.
for the most part,
You cannot carry any more.
take great effort to
You cannot
build the
carry any
world
more.
that you play in if you're willing to put in the time and effort to look into it. And watching that series by Skyen made me realize exactly how much I love game
Your
analysis
pet
and how
is
much I
free.
would love to do it myself if I can. Now, it probably won't be as in depth as full essays, at least not at first, because we all get better with time, and the gods know I
You are
probably won't
overburdened.
be the best at it starting off.
Your pet has
But if you'll bear
departed.
with me, I will probably get better and better with
You
time.
have sprung.
And there's something that I ran into as I was getting ready to restart the channel and to
Your
reboot
pack is full.
everything, so to speak. Obviously, videos won't get deleted and you'll still see whatever ends up staying up or whatever I find cringe in about 2 years' time. But one thing I really thought about, and a piece of advice I heard from a creator that I first saw on shorts and then started following more in depth just to learn about an industry that I'm not part of, and that's the makeup industry, is Johnny Ross. And Johnny said, "You don't make content to make money, you make content to make better content." And if that is a philosophy that I can incorporate into this, I would love to, because
You
we're
cannot carry any
in a
more.
creative field, you're always evolving your craft. Always. And with each new bit of information and new skill, just from making these couple of videos, I've learned a whole bunch about my editing software, which is DaVinci Resolve, to the point where I started editing together a little special project uh, that may appear on certain places in the coming months to the coming year, uh, which should be fun, hopefully, if it doesn't completely blow up
Your
in my
pet has
face,
returned.
as some things are wont to do. But it just really sank in and inspired me to get back into this because there's something about sitting down to record these videos that does get me excited. Even if I'm super nervous, it does get me excited because it's an opportunity to share with an audience things that I am passionate about, things that I like, things that in my darkest moments have helped me find a place that allow me to have a place when I am dismissed or disregarded in the everyday normal world. And maybe that's silly, but it's something that's made me
You cannot carry any more.
feel better starting from, the early days of YouTube. Because I was not even a teenager when YouTube started becoming a big thing.
Your
I
pet is free.
remember when Jack and Mark didn't have beards. I remember when little baby Markiplier had a faux hawk and just started dyeing his hair. I remember the start of the whole FNAF craze and where it's come from. And when everyone on YouTube was playing Happy Wheels. I've watched YouTube as a platform grow and seen people do things that I want to do. And I'm probably rambling at this point. This is just an incoherent string of thoughts broadcasted out into a universe that is probably not going to
Your
give
pet is fleeing.
any sort of a crap about a non binary 20 something making videos on the internet for 9 people. But everyone starts somewhere, and putting more of the content that I want to see out into the world and making it better and better with each video is something that makes me giddy. Look at all this shit.
That is not possible.
That is not possible.
You are
Going
overburdened.
back to the game for a minute, that narrator is annoying. So is the fact that I
You
cannot,
are
for the
overburdened.
life of me, turn the game audio off. I have set the music and the sound effects and everything in this game to 0. There is still music and sound effects in my headphones. I will have probably turned them off for the video because I got a copyright claim on the first video of this for the game audio. There will never be monetization on that first video.
Your pet is fleeing.
Not ever. But I cannot for the life of me turn the game audio off. Why? Why does the game audio slider not turn the game audio off? Why is that not an option? The modern conveniences we miss when we go back to older games.
You have sprung a trap.
What exactly? Destroy Rock Slicer the Defiler and the legendary Mountain Ogre and its legendary Wyvern minions. And I have 1 minion left. Got it.
You
I keep
cannot hold them anymore.
instinctively, occasionally when you see the screen suddenly turn and then turn back, that is me pressing WASD, one of the WASD keys, because I keep forgetting that this game is point and click, and
Your
you control
kingdom
your
is under
character by a mouse. Oh, is this the ogre that we have to kill? What's Rock Slicer the Defiler? What even? I love
still
audio
visible.
auto-generated names sometimes because it's just like, what is what is this nonsense that we can make this character?
Your pack is full. The quest is completed.
Oh, good. Place to sell the random stuff in my inventory. Perfect.
Your pet is fleeing.
Good God, there's a lot of things all at once in there. But circling back to YouTube and what I want out from it. In relaunching the channel, so to speak, I am starting a Patreon. And on that Patreon will be upcoming projects, discounts on merch if I have it, but definitely discounts on commissions, which I still have open. They've been open all year. I've sold one. Um, I don't know if it ever got posted to Twitter. I was very proud of it though, um, and that was fun. It's definitely posted on my Ko-fi, which will still be there as either a chip jar or as a subscription if you want it. Although with Patreon and everything, I don't know if anyone wants to do a subscription on Ko-fi. That's not the usual subscribe and support me platform. It's more of everyone's tip jar. But you can leave me a one-time tip on Ko-fi if you would like. But with the addition of those things, I hope to make this my full-time job if I can. With how YouTube is, it may or may not be possible for me, but I would like it to be if I can. And if I don't try, we'll never know, right? Before we end up getting any further, let's get back up to the surface and see if I can get some more gear. Where's that town porter spell? There we go. Sell all the nonsense on me. Turn in some quests.
Hello?
Turn in my last set of quests. Because after we finish that quest, level 42, we are beelining it straight for the
You have
boss.
grown more skilled. You have been granted new skills.
Let's get better at hitting things, shall we?
A good day to you, Wanderer.
I do not need this, nor do I need this. You can also have this. I will take that healing charm from you, though. Think I have enough healing charms? I don't feel like I have enough healing charms, guys. I'm just gonna put them all in my inventory. Just final. We're gonna do a boss run. We're just gonna have all of them. Just get all of them now instead of waiting. All right, level 42. All we got is this quest left, which is destroy Brodum, the legendary Komodo warrior, and its legendary jackal friend, fiend minions. I can read. I graduated high school and did some college. I can definitely read on level 42.
You step into the portal.
Isn't it lovely how when you try to talk out loud, your reading skills just vanish suddenly? Gotta love it. Gotta love that. It is so funny to me, the fact that you can just randomly find the quote unquote boss creatures
Your pet is
around,
free.
because you will not, for the life of you, run into, just like mini bosses without like a build up. Meanwhile, in this game, you can just randomly go, oh,
Your
hey, that
pet
guy's a
is
red
free.
guy, and he's all special and unique out of the blue. It's kind of neat because it also gives you a way to level up your fame outside of killing the bosses given to you in quests. But it's also like there's this random blob that jiggles up and gives you fame for murdering it. Like what? Why? Why did stabbing this level 1 slime give me fame because it had a name? I guess I'll get fame if I kill anyone with a name. Pain Slicer the Despoiler. What is despoil? Are you unspoiling things? Is that a word?
You
I'm
have
probably going to look
completed
it up after this video and find out it's a word and be super embarrassed, but do I care right now? No. I just find it very funny that it's called Pain
your path
Slicer
is
the
fleeing.
Despoiler. Oh
Your
god.
pet is
I'm all
fleeing.
webbed up. I'm all webbed up. My pet.
Your pack is full.
Is it? I.
Your pack is full.
You always find the
Well,
fanciest of items that do not belong to your class at all in this game. You'll be like, oh, I'm picking this class this time. And then immediately, for me, it's always when I do sword runs that I will find all of the bows. Like, I will have the coolest bows fall into my lap during a sword run. But heaven help if I'm actually doing a sword run, I'm actually doing a bow run, I have to build that myself. I can never find cool bows when it is my own bow playthrough. Never. Not once. It's ridiculous. I don't know if that's the game trying to make it harder for you or what, but it's weird. I only ever find bows on every other run. Or like this time, I'm finding cool swords. I'm using pole arms. That does not help. There was this one time, this is the only time I've ever done it, I did a spear run of this game. I did a spear run of this game. You know how many spears I found in that whole playthrough that weren't the level 1 crappy spear? One. I found one legendary spear that whole playthrough. How many legendary shields did I find that playthrough? 287. Like, it was a ridiculous number. I'd kill bad guys and just spears. None. Did I find legendary shields? Every 10 minutes. Every 10 minutes.
your pet has fled.
The game was like, I heard you like shields. And I said, no, I don't like shields. And they were like, well, I got a shield for your shield. The RNG in this game is ridiculous. And I'm glad later games improved just the entire industry. Not even this game series specifically. Just the whole industry improved their RNG. Unless, of course, you're playing FNAF, and then RNG hates you. Always. As many Markiplier, Taco, and other FNAF YouTubers, and especially MatPat has found out. Poor MatPat. That game just like kicking him in the shins repeatedly. Another despoiler. What is despoiling? There's gonna be like a we get to the edit, there's gonna be like a definition from Google floating across the screen of what a despoiler is every time I'm like, what is that? What's a despoiler, guys? Because again, I'm going to feel dumb later when I look it up and I find out what it is, because it turns out to be real. Because it probably is. But who boy for right now am I going to be like just ripping in a new one every time I see it? Because that's like the second one on this floor. That never happens.
Your pet is fleeing.
My pet is fleeing, you say. Have I even killed the guy that I came down here to kill? I'm seeing a bunch of legendary ogres and such, but I don't think I've seen
You are
a
overburdened.
Komodo warrior. Sorry. Oh god, hiccups. I talk too much and I get hiccups. Quit running your mouth, Pastel. No. If you subscribe to this channel, this is what you signed up for. Me
Your pet
yelling
has
into a
fled.
microphone. Oh god, come on, Fate. No, don't do this shit.
You have fallen
And I
prey.
died. It did that thing. That thing I said I hate, where it
Choose
freaking
your fate. The choice is made.
suddenly stops attacking out of nowhere.
Your pet
Oh hey,
has
it's the
fled.
guy I need to kill. Get back here, pet. I hate crowds in this
Your
game.
pet
I
is
hate them
fleeing.
so much. Crowds in this game are the worst. Come on, guys.
Your pet has fled.
I hate these freaking
Your
the
pet has
jackal
fled.
fiends because they always run away. They could have like all the health in the world and they will run away like freaking
The
cowards.
quest is completed.
And then you have to chase after them, which is usually really difficult. And
Your pack is full.
I can't remember if I left
Stop
this
the
in earlier
unfolding.
episodes or not, but
You cannot
they
die for
always
more.
have the giant crossbows that can snipe you from halfway across the freaking map. But unfortunately, when they have those crossbows, they're also inexplicably way stronger than they would ever be when you got your hands on them. Ever. Snipe you from halfway across the map, and then you're just sitting there annoyed because they keep killing you over and over and over and over and over and over and over, and you can do nothing about it until you find them and murder them. But it takes like
Will you take defeat?
15 million tries to try and get to that point. And you're just annoyed. Alright, we got these gems from the statue. Alright. Adds more mana. Cool. I don't use mana that often. Plus 10 mana recovery. That is also cool, but 5% movement speed penalty. Why would you shoot yourself in the foot like that? Who would dare?
Your pet has departed.
We'll run around and meet our pet back in town. Honestly, I will say this. This is the game that made me get over loot lust. Used to have loot lust really bad. Had to search every item box in every game, in every chest, in every nook and cranny. And this game, with its constant dumping of weapons and items, made me get over loot lust because I got tired of waiting for my pet to return from town because I just had to pick up that 18th million bajillionth item that I did not need to sell. So, hey, if you want to cure your loot lust, the Fate series, maybe, or it may just make your loot lust worse because it drops items all the
You
time,
step into
like
the
all the
void.
time. It'll definitely get you over your inventory hoarding though, because
Your
if you
pet
try
has
to hoard in
departed.
this game, your inventory is going to be constantly full, constantly.
I have many mystic items for sale.
Well, I'm sure you do, but also take my mystic items for money. Right.
Welcome, friend.
Nice quest turned in. This is it, the final stretch. Let's go kill a boss, shall we?
You enter the portal.
Alright, 43, and they're on 44. Let's go find a staircase. Die, giant furry monster. That is something that's particularly annoying about this game, is the need for you to stop in order to use a spell. Specifically, the need to stop to use a healing spell just pauses. everything. And don't get me wrong, I understand that you need to stop attacking to do magics. Why do I have to stop moving? The convenience of being able to move and heal yourself in modern games. I say as if this game is not from when I was like 6 or 7. Then again, in internet time, this game is ancient history. This game came out at the time with the dinosaurs. Back when computers still sounded like they were dying every time you booted up the internet.
You
Yes,
can't carry anymore.
yes, teeny boppers. I in fact remember when the internet made noise, and not when you booted up a video, when you turned it on. That was a fun time, they say sarcastically, because it wasn't fun, it was just loud. I can't imagine, because we didn't have dial-up internet very long, but I can't imagine older autistics than me who have sensory issues with loud mechanical and electronic noises dealing with the internet when it was still dial-up, because the noise it made always upset me. Not to the point like when I was
Complex
itty bitty
exciting.
and it would make me cry, because it did make me cry. That is how much of a baby I am about that sound. But just in general, an autistic dealing with that noise, especially when they do not like them, I can only imagine how bad it was when every time you needed to boot up the internet, it made that noise. Oh, what a glorious invention Wi Fi was. Or just in general, Ethernet. Having a system of internet that does not require a dial up modem.
Your
Run
pack
on to
has
town
departed.
while I kill a Yeti.
You have sprung
Is
a trap.
that. It is! It's the staircase. We're so close. We're so close I can taste it. Genuine question for everyone out there. Did y'all ever play the Fate series? Is this any of y'all's my series, the first introduction to this game? Did you end up sending this to anybody else going, what is this weird old game? Or like Googling it after the fact? Because half the time when I talk about this game, I feel like when I start talking, everyone's like, oh, you mean, Fate, the anime series, and their games, because they have games too. And I'm like, no, 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 Fate, all caps. And it's a top 10 video game. And they're like, what? Pardon? The hell is that? Are you sure you didn't just imagine that? And I'm like, no, no, I didn't. I definitely am playing it,
Your pack is
and I
falling.
definitely have played it. Are there any eh, eh, just to build off that question, are there any games like
You are
that
overburdened.
from when you were younger that just you remember them? You remember playing them so vividly, but in you minute you try to tell anyone else about them, they're just like, "What? No, that's not real," or "Nah, I've never heard of that." Meanwhile, you're like,
Your pet
I
has
could have
departed.
sworn there were so many people that played this game because the Fate series has 3 more games. I'm seriously considering when I have the equipment to streaming said games because I feel like streaming this game would be a lot more fun than what I'm currently doing, which is recording a let's play of them. But there's 3 more of these, and every time I talk about the series, I feel like no one knows it. So I'm just curious, do any of y'all have game series like that where there's like, no, there's a whole bunch of them. There's like a lot of them. How do you not know it? And it's like, oh, never even, not even once. Just in the market we're in, I feel like there's a lot of those that just get completely lost to time, or you remember them and then they suddenly just disappear. I'm sure there's other series that I played that like that I love so much, and yet
Your pet has fled.
no one has ever heard of them. It's odd. It's an odd thing. And if any
Your
of
pet
y'all
has fled.
have recommendations, at least for right now, it'll have to be PC games. But if any of y'all have recommendations for games like that are more obscure but you really really loved, I would love to check them out because frankly, that's part of what I want to do with this
Your
channel.
pet has fled. You have died.
We're just gonna get
The
right back in the
choice
thick
is
of it.
made. Your pet is fleeing. Your pet has fled. Your pet is fleeing. You have
Oh,
died.
good God, I think this is the final boss.
The choice is made.
So we
Your
are going
pet is fleeing.
to run away for a minute.
You cannot carry anymore.
First off, get some more healing charms. To move all of this to my pet's inventory. And then we are gonna summon some friends. Yeah? Come on, big guys. I know you will probably all die in an instant, but better this than
Your pet
nothing.
has fled. Your pet is fleeing.
Oh God, my frame rate. This is the one thing about this game. I I am working on a computer that is I got it and it was state of the art in 2017. Meanwhile, Fate just makes it chug. I don't know if it's what it is. You would think old games would run so incredibly on modern computers, but nope. More summoned weird guys.
Your pet has fled. You
And
have
it egg.
died. The choice is made.
Back up and let's regroup.
Your pet is fleeing.
Hey, buddy. I think this is one of the first times I have ever gotten into like a final boss level. Like the
Your
level where the
love is
final
low.
final boss is. And they have been very conveniently like right there. Like, oh, you can see on screen like there's where we came down and then like here's where the boss is. It's usually like clear on the other side of the map. Lucky me, I guess. All right, back into the fray.
Your pet is fleeing.
Already. Man, my pet's weak. There's another one down. Another one bites the dust. That's all I can use of that song. There's my own shitty rendition, too.
Your pet has fled. You are poisoned.
I am poisoned, and I need to keep an eye on my health because, good God.
Your pet
Oh,
is
and I
fleeing.
stopped attacking.
You
Gotta
have
love
fallen.
that.
The choice is
I
made.
hate when that happens. Alright. Run. Scamper.
Your pet is fleeing.
Just need to thin the herd. That shouldn't be too hard, right? Wrong.
You have been poisoned. Your pet has fled.
I'm always poisoned. Don't flatter yourself.
Your pet is fleeing. Your pet is
And it died.
fleeing. You have died. The
So the
choice
lovely
is
part about
made.
being right at the end of the game is
Your
you don't
pet has
have to
fled.
worry about, oh no, if I die, I'll lose all my stuff, or I'll lose all the levels I've gained. No, no, you're at the end of the game. None of that matters anymore. You're fine. Everything's fine. Don't even worry about it, bruh. I am never using bruh again. I am
You cannot carry
really
anymore.
cringy.
Your pet is fleeing.
Am I even damaging him?
You have died.
I died. Of course I did.
The choice is made.
Let's kill more of his friends. Because, good God, I'm tired of dealing with all of you. Sorry if there's not riveting commentary going on right now. This is for a
Your
game
pet
where I
is
just need
fleeing.
to hold down the
You
button
have
to
been
attack.
poisoned.
I am. This is surprisingly intense. I like it when you run around the corner away from the bigger guy. Makes my life a whole lot easier.
Your pet has fled.
Okay, take a sec. Refill our healing charms. I had half an inventory full, and now I have 2 left. Gotta love that. Alright, let's get some summoned friends. Alright, you level 77 Shade Ripper. Murderer
You are
time.
poisoned.
Oh, he can heal himself? How rude. That is just not fair. Oh, we almost got him. We almost got him. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Hey,
Your journey is complete.
we did it. We did it. The douche is dead.
Your
Let's
pack is full.
let's
Your pet has departed.
send our pet to town. And kill the last zombie wandering around.
You
Can I
are
pick this up?
overburdened. The spell could not be completed.
Let's see what this is. A randomly... See? Legendary sealed.
You cannot carry any more.
Alright, let's get our butts back to town and complete. Wait! We did it, guys. We did it.
You enter the portal. Your pet has returned.
Be welcome, traveler.
I am very welcomed. Thank you. Give myself one last heal from the nice healing
Good
lady.
day.
You are refreshed.
And then take off like a rocket. Alright, folks. Here it is.
I am well known throughout these parts.
At last, Shade Ripper has been destroyed. Your journey is complete. We received 25,554 XP, 7,546 fame, and 105,232 gold. We have to come back and speak to them when we would like to retire. Which is fun, because in this game, you can keep playing after you killed the quote-unquote final boss. Keep exploring the depths. Or you can just prestige, basically. You retire the character, you make a new one, and you basically are playing down the hero's lineage. I think I've gotten maximum on my old computer. I got 4 lineages deep, so basically every bit of equipment that my player had on was some sort of legendary item from a previous generation. At least as far as boots, pants, the boots, the armor, the gloves, and the helm. Because I would play a new weapon every time. Because you have to diversify, unless it's Skyrim, and then just play a sneak archer again. Alright, folks. We did it! We finished Fate. After a long time, and some hiccups here and there, Fate is complete. Sound off in the comments if you would like to see me prestige, and maybe on a live stream once I have this set up, we can play as this character's grandson or something. Or we can even, because these games are all interconnected, I can play this character, but in the next game, and we'll just keep going through all 4 of the games with the same character. Those would be on live streams, because I don't think a series like this game series would work as a let's play. But if that is what you want, maybe we will do it. So everyone could say goodbye to our weird bird monster pet pumpkin that started out as a tiny orange cat. Our little lowly hero Pastel is now a proper warrior. Alright. With that, take it away, outro me. Thanks everyone so much for watching. If you enjoyed, consider leaving a like and share your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe and hit the bell to make sure you don't miss an upload. I have both a Patreon and a Ko-fi where you can support me and what I do, granting you access to Gaming with a Rose 1 month early and voting for what I play next. All those links will be in the description below. Follow me on Twitter for updates and ramblings over there. And with that, click the box to the left to see what more from me, or the box to the right to see what video YouTube says you'll like. Have a lovely day.